Hello everyone, welcome to our lecture. And today we'll talk about another important traditional Chinese festival. By the way, do you still remember what festival we talked about in the previous lecture? Yeah, that is 春节. And in today's lecture, we'll talk about three more traditional festivals. So the first one is the Lantern Festival, 元宵节. The Lantern Festival is on the 15th day of the first lunar month. So we can see here most of the traditional Chinese festivals are based on our lunar calendar. And it's originated in the Western Han Dynasty, that is 206 BC to AD 25. So the customs are as follows. The first one is watching lanterns. That's why it's called the Lantern Festival. Do you still remember when we talk about the Spring Festival, we mentioned that Chinese people would like to hang the red lanterns during the Spring Festival. So, and then we have the Lantern Festival for you to have various kinds of lanterns. And also we'll eat 元宵. 元宵 is a kind of food. We also mentioned in the previous lecture, in different festivals, Chinese people have different food for different festival. And we appreciate the full moon. As you can see, that's the appreciate full moon. And another one is to guess the lantern riddles. Now let's see. Guessing the lantern riddles, what it's like. Lantern owners will write the riddles on a piece of paper and post them on the lanterns. If visitors have solutions to the riddles, they can pull the paper out and go to the lantern owners to check their answer. If they are right, they will get a little gift. So the riddles, for example, we have a Chinese one for you. You can see how it's like 门前流水映明月. So based on this sentence, so you can guess which word it's talking about. So that's this word, 见. And I think you might be familiar with some English riddles. For example, cold and hot, which runs faster? Yeah, that's another riddle for you. And the answer is hot runs faster because you can catch a cold, but you cannot catch a hot. Yeah, so, and now let's see, 元宵. Wow, it's very delicious. That's my favorite food. 元宵, we can consider it as small dumpling balls made of glutinous rice flour with fillings. In northern China, people call it 元宵. Yeah, remember we mentioned that because China is so big, so the food customs in the northern part of China and the southern part of China sometimes are different. As you can see, for the Lantern Festival, Chinese people, they eat the 元宵, but for the southern part of China, Chinese people eat 汤圆. And nowadays, because of the rising prosperity, so we have more kinds of 元宵, not only the white one with the sesame stuffings, we have some colorful 元宵 or 汤圆, and we can put different stuffings inside, like the chocolate or fruits. So 元宵festival is a beautiful and a yummy festival. Now we'll talk about another festival, that is Qingming Festival. Qingming Festival, actually it's associated with the 24 solar terms. It's one of the 24 seasonal divisions points in China. The date sometimes is from April the 4th to the 6th each year. It's originated in the cold food festival, 寒食节. The customs are like the tomb sweeping and the sacrifices. And since this is one of the 24 seasonal division points in China, and it belongs to the spring season, and the Chinese people will have one day off for the Qingming Festival. So during this holiday, the Qingming Festival, Chinese people like to go to have the hiking or to fly the kite. For example, as you can see on the picture here. And speaking of the Qingming Festival, we also like to talk about one important paintings in Chinese culture. That is the riverside scene at the Qingming Festival. 清明上河图. It's painted by Zhang Zeduan. As you can see, it's 24.8 centimeters high and 528.7 centimeters long. This is just a very mini part of the 清明上河图. And also on this day, we have a poem for the Qingming Festival. It's written by Du Mu, so you can read after me. 清明时节雨纷纷，路上行人欲断魂。借问酒家何处有？牧童遥指杏花村. So the meanings are listed here. It drizzles thick and fast on the pure brightness day. I travel with my heart lost in dismay. Is there a public house somewhere, cowboy? He points at Apricot Village far away. It's translated by Wu Juntao. So that's for the Qingming Festival. And now we move on today's lecture's last festival. That is the Dragon Boat Festival. Now, can you read the pinyin by yourself? 端午节. So what would the people do on this day? First, let's talk about the date. When do we celebrate the Dragon Boat Festival? It's on the 5th day of the 5th lunar month, usually in June, according to the Gregorian calendar. The origin is in the Warring States, that is 475 BC to 221 BC, in order to mourn for Qu Yuan, because Qu Yuan, he's a very patriotic poet. And he heard that his country was ruined, and actually he provided a lot of advice to the emperor about how to build the country, how to make the country prosperous, but the emperor didn't follow his advice. So when he heard this news, he was so disappointed and desperate. Then he threw himself into the Milo River and killed himself. So the local people, they were moved by Qu Yuan's patriotism. So first, they sent a lot of boats to the river to try to save Qu Yuan. And this activity thereafter was evolved into one of the important customs in the Dragon Boat Festival, that is the dragon boat racing. But people cannot find Qu Yuan's body, so they are afraid that Qu Yuan's body might be eaten by the fish. So what would they do? Then they try to make 粽子, that is the glutinous rice stuffed with different fillings and wrapped in bamboo, reed, or other large flat leaves, as you can see on the picture below. They throw them into the river, hoping that the fish would eat the 粽子 instead of eating Qu Yuan. And this custom nowadays was evolved into the custom of making 粽子. And the 端午 Festival is also one of the world's intangible cultural heritages. As you can see, in next lecture, we'll talk about the Double Seventh Festival, which is regarded as Chinese Valentine's Day. So looking forward to see you, and all for today. Goodbye.